Today we will discuss with Neda about human embryo development. Can you show us some pictures?
Of course, I have prepared some pictures and some slides for you to walk you through embryonic development in vitro. So let's start. My first slide is going to talk about retrieval of eggs. So you have to think about something. When we are retrieving eggs from the patients, we will retrieve them transvaginally. The doctor will go through the vagina to the ovaries, and then he will collect a follicular fluid that he gives the embryologist, which is me. Then I will go look through the dish, and I will try to find something that looks like this. These are what eggs look like. And this right here is the cumulus surrounding the egg. So we will culture these eggs for specific hours, and then we will try to get rid of these cumulus cells. And I will show you in the next slide what it looks like. Alright, slide number 2, we're going to be looking at the removal of those cumulus cells. Just like I showed you in that picture, there was the egg surrounded by the cumulus cells. Now we need to strip them away. So we can do two things. Number 1, we're going to assess the maturity of the egg. And I will show you a picture and explain further in a minute. Number 2, we want to ICSI. What is ICSI? It's intracytoplasmic injection of the sperm. So we cannot have those cells clumping there because we need to inject our little sperm into our little egg. Now I'm going to show you a picture. This is our nicely stripped egg. We removed all the cumulus away. And right here, this little ball right here that you see is our polar body. What does this tell us? It tells us that the egg is mature, which means that, hey, I am ready to be ICSI'd. The other thing is, like I was mentioning, if you want to do ICSI with a needle, you would probably want to get rid of all the cells that are outside. And I guess this is step number 2 for you. Let's look at the next slide. Okay, so now after fertilization check, we're going to take those little babies, we're going to put them in the incubators. We're going to leave them there until day 3, then we will check. But now let's go back and see what happens after fertilization. We will have our first cleavage to 2 cells, then 4 cells, 8 cells, so on and so forth. But I do want to stop here at the 8 cell stage, because on day 3, we do check on our little embryos for grading to make sure that they're doing okay, right? So if you look at this 8 cell here, it's pretty beautiful. That's what it's supposed to look like. Now, the embryo is going to keep cleaving and cleaving. The cells will keep growing until it makes it to this morula stage, which I think is pretty cool. Because look at here, all these cells are all compacted together. They will keep growing, growing, growing to the point where the cell-to-cell junctions just disappears. So I just wanted to show you what a morula looks like because I think it's pretty cool. Now, we're going to go next to the blastocyst stage. Alright, final step, blastocyst stage. This is what we are all waiting for. Day 5 blastocyst stage. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of what a blastocyst is supposed to look like. Oh yes, this is your little baby right here. Let me go ahead and start explaining to you what are these cells that you're looking at. By the way, this is a really, really beautiful day 5 blastocyst embryo. This part right over here is your ICM, inner cell mass. This is what's going to become the fetus, the little baby. These other cells that are lining the zona pellucida, which is cover out here, are trophectoderm cells. These trophectoderm cells will hatch out of this zona. They will go to the uterus, invade it, and then implant. So basically what we always like to see, we like to see a lot of cells from the trophectoderm because the more cells we have, the more likely it is to implant in the uterus. And we always like to see a compacted number of cells in the ICM. That's a really, really good sign of a good quality blastocyst. So this is what we do here in the lab. We culture the embryos to day 5 and day 6, and then we are ready to transfer them to into the uterus and hopefully make a baby. Alright, this is it for today, and hopefully I will see you guys soon and answer all the other questions you guys have.